Hey everyone, this is Scott from Forgot to Grow Up. Welcome to our Game of Thrones Season 8 Episode 1 Thoughts video. I just finished watching the season premiere of the final season of Game of Thrones on HBO Canada, on Crave TV, or Crave now. Yeah, I just finished watching it, and I really enjoyed this season premiere. We didn't get a whole lot of action, but we got a whole lot going on in this episode. So I'm just going to be talking about my general thoughts, some of the things I liked that happened in this, and just my general thoughts about those things. So yeah, one of the first things is that Jon and Daenerys and all the armies and the dragons all arrive in Winterfell. Finally, they're all getting prepared for battle. There's a little tension because, well, the North isn't particularly happy with Jon for just giving up the king seat that they gave him, and so that leaves a little bit of tension, and then there's some tension between Sansa and Daenerys, and so that just leads a little bit of tension. There's just so much drama and stuff going on, but luckily we get Jon gets to be reunited with some of his family in this episode, which was nice. Jon also gets to ride a freaking dragon, which was cool. He seems a little, obviously this was his first time, but he's going to need some practice with that for sure. But yeah, that was enjoyable. Him and Daenerys seem to be getting a lot closer, and the dragons do not like that whatsoever. And so I thought that was an interesting little bit that you see after they're riding the dragons, and Daenerys and Jon are getting a little close. The dragons are just glaring at Jon like a couple in-laws looking at you, like that's the look they had, and it's just like, oh, they smell something's not right about that. So I really enjoyed that little bit that the dragons kind of can sense this thing that these two haven't figured out yet. Well, at the end of this episode, Jon learns from Sam, that he's a Targaryen, and that scene I thought was going to go a little differently. I thought that might end bad for Samwell, just a little bit. Just in that moment, I was like, is Jon going to go a little crazy here? But that's not Jon's personality, so luckily he didn't snap at that moment. But it wouldn't have surprised me because this is Game of Thrones. People die all the freaking time. But apparently, not this episode. I don't think anybody died in this episode. But yeah, some more of the things I enjoyed about this one. We get Theon rescuing his sister, and that was just nice. He finally gets to make up for the fact that he let her get kidnapped, so he was able to kind of make that up. And then they agree that he should go off and help the Starks in Winterfell, yada yada. So that was an interesting little part. We got the Hound and Arya not reunited, but they kind of saw each other again. They kind of get to bury the hatchet a little bit, just a little bit kind of. So that was nice to see. And then at the very end of this episode, we see Jaime Lannister arriving in Winterfell. And who's the first person that sees him / he sees? Is the kid he pushed out of a tower a few years ago, Mr. Bran Stark. And I was just like, oh, that's going to be an awkward conversation between those two. So that was an interesting little thing, and I'm very curious next week to see how that plays out. Is Jaime going to apologize? Because that's something you should probably apologize for. But yeah, that's all my general thoughts for this episode of Game of Thrones. Be sure to let me know in the comments below what you thought of the season premiere of the final season of Game of Thrones. What are some of your theories? What are you looking forward to most for this season? I'm always curious to hear that in the comments below. Thanks for joining me today. Sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and have a good one.